January 20th 24. Astronomical events. January 3rd to 4th Quadranid meteor shower. The Quadrantid meteor shower will peak around January 4, with an expected rate of approximately 120 meteors per hour. Look towards the constellation Bootes, where the radiant point is located. Best viewing shortly before dawn, when the radiant point is highest. The meteor shower will be active from December 12th to January 12th, but the best viewing times are around January 4th. January 7th, Mercury at its highest altitude in the morning sky. Mercury will reach its highest morning sky point in its December 20th 23 February 2024 apparition, gleaming at magnitude -0.3. Mercury will be visible in the eastern horizon in the morning hours before sunrise. January 8th, Lunar Occultation of Antares. The moon will pass in front of Antares, creating a lunar occultation visible from the western contiguous United States and northwestern Mexico. Although the occultation will only be visible across part of the world, because the moon is so close to the Earth that its position in the sky varies by as much as 2 degrees across the world, a close conjunction between the pair will be more widely visible. January 8th, conjunction of the Moon and Venus. The Moon and Venus will share the same right ascension, with the Moon passing 542 to the south of Venus. The Moon will be 27 days old. The Moon will be at magnitude -10.1 in the constellation Scorpius, and Venus at magnitude -4.0 in the neighboring constellation of Ophiuchus. January 9th, conjunction of the Moon and Mercury. The Moon and Mercury will share the same right ascension, with the Moon passing 635 to the south of Mercury. The Moon will be 28 days old. The Moon will be at magnitude -9.3 and Mercury at magnitude -0.3, both in the constellation Ophiuchus. January 10th, conjunction of the Moon and Mars. The Moon and Mars will align in the same right ascension, with the Moon passing 409 south of Mars. The Moon will be 29 days old, situated at magnitude -8.5, while Mars will be at magnitude 1.4, both within the Sagittarius constellation. January 11th, new moon. The moon will pass close to the sun and become lost in its glares for a few days. It's the best time to see nebulae, galaxies, and clusters. January 14th, conjunction of the Moon and Saturn. The Moon and Saturn will share the same right ascension, with the Moon passing 208 to the south of Saturn. The Moon will be 3 days old. The Moon will be at magnitude -10.5 and Saturn at magnitude 0.8, both in the constellation Aquarius. January 16th, conjunction of Venus and Ceres. Venus and Ceres will align in right ascension, with Venus passing 9 degrees and 22 arcminutes south of Ceres. Venus will be at magnitude -4.0 and Ceres at magnitude 9.0, both in the constellation Ophiuchus. January 18th, conjunction of the Moon and Jupiter. The Moon and Jupiter will align in right ascension, with the Moon passing 2 degrees and 46 arcminutes north of Jupiter. The Moon, 7 days old, will shine at magnitude -12.1, while Jupiter at magnitude -2.5 in the constellation Aries. January 19th, Ursae Minorid meteor shower. The Ursae Minorid meteor shower will be active from January 15th to January 25th, reaching its peak around January 19th. Over this period, there will be an opportunity to observe Ursae Minorid meteors whenever the shower's radiant point, located in the Ursa Minor constellation, is above the horizon. The visibility of meteors will rise as the radiant point ascends higher in the sky. At its peak, the shower is expected to produce a rate of around 3 meteors per hour. January 21st, lunar occultation of Beta Tauri. The moon will pass in front of Beta Tauri, also known as Alnith, creating a lunar occultation visible from countries like southwestern French Polynesia, Tonga, western New Zealand, Cook Islands, and more. While the lunar occultation is limited to specific areas due to the moon's proximity, causing a variance of up to 2 degrees in its position across the globe. January 25th, full moon. In January, the wolf moon, the first full moon of the year, will reach its peak. visible for much of the night. It rises around dusk and sets around dawn during this phase. January 26th, Uranus ends retrograde motion. Uranus will reach the end of its retrograde motion, ending its westward movement through the constellations and returning to a more usual eastward motion instead. Retrograde motion is when a planet appears to move backward in the sky for a short time. It's an illusion caused by Earth passing the slower outer planets in their orbits. January 27th, conjunction of Mercury and Mars. Mercury and Mars will align in right ascension, with Mercury passing 14 arcminutes north of Mars. Mercury will be at magnitude -0.2 and Mars at magnitude 1.3, both in the constellation Sagittarius. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more monthly astronomical events.